Welcome in. Today is Monday, December 22nd, and we brought, of course, Wayne and Bryce. And today we got to talk about who gave the better effort in their fight, Jake Paul or DK Metcalf. Also, time to argue over college football, and we'll get you caught up on all things NFL as I am on my way soon to Indianapolis for the Colts 49ers game.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots. Let's see who wins this bout, Big Ten or SEC.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation, a great show for you. All the other shows where I said it was a great show, I'll be honest, I may or may not have lied. This time, I tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, because we got Wayne and Bryce together. They didn't even know each other existed until about 89 seconds ago. And Miles, explain something for us real quick, Miles.
Yeah, they're touching tips as Wayne touches his camera right there.
Yeah,
Spider-Man. So I have been chomping at the bit to get these two on the same podcast because they have very contrasting styles and yet live way closer than Adam and I do. Me in Texas, him in Indiana, T.I., wherever the hell he just is there. But these two cats, both out of Tennessee, very contrasting styles. One is the NFL expert, the other the college football expert. The best gangbang I could imagine. That didn't come out right, but we're going to experience why it's going to be awesome for all of us here.
Or awkward, at least.
We're going to get into it. Yeah, well, whatever. You know how it is. So Bryce and Wayne, two of the best contributors to Idiot Nation we have ever had, and they didn't even know much about each other until tonight, and now we're going to get a full blast of everything football you can imagine.
Yep.
And
touching tips.
It comes from Middle Tennessee. Touching tips and, well, I had another comment there, but I'll leave that for another time.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
So I think this is all about one of the Paul brothers, I think, getting knocked out and getting a couple. You probably want to break my jaw right now and just want to get me to shut up. So I'll leave it to y'all to talk about the fight.
Yeah, because I wanted to bring that up and I wanted to ask Wayne. Wayne strikes me as a guy that is down to see some of those fights and definitely has an opinion on it. So I'm curious just what you thought. First of all, did you take it serious at all going in?
So for full disclosure, I didn't see the fight live. I didn't see the fight live because I hadn't seen enough of that just to last me a lifetime. But so what I did do after I found out what happened,
of course, you saw what happened. Yeah,
we saw that. So I looked at the cliff notes of, Jake the fighter. He's all right. He's like amateur at best. I'm not gonna put him in there with no elite guy. And when I thought about Anthony Joshua when they first started, but I'm like, wait a minute, he ain't too far removed from losing the title. Like, what, 4 years? Like, he was the WBC champion and had it for like a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, this ain't what he was doing before fighting has-beens, although I ain't even gonna get into the Tyson thing. But this ain't what that was. So I'm like, well, shoot, this got to be a paid thing, stage thing. He ain't finna put himself in no real danger, I wouldn't think. And I'd be damned if he didn't get his jaw broken. Like, well, no shot there. I'm just surprised it happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not one of them dudes that hate the Pauls. I don't really. I'm a WWE guy too, so actually, I think Logan Paul is a great athlete when it comes to wrestling. He do stuff that wrestlers can't even do. Like, he's great. Jake, he's all right too. So I don't really hate him. So I really didn't want to see him get beat up. I just wasn't gonna watch the fight because if you're gonna have all these stipulations, then what am I doing? You know what I mean? So I think it is what it is. I mean, Anthony Joshua. I mean, he did that. Ain't the first jaw he done broke, and it probably won't be the last. That's probably the most famous jaw he done broke, but it is certainly not the first. So
Twice. Well, he did it twice on the same night.
yeah. So I mean, I think it's fine. It is what it is because I mean, props to Jake for getting in there.
Yeah. So Bryce, I want to ask you the sixth round. My take is that it was all right. Make sure it goes into at least the fifth round, and then you get paid more. And then he just couldn't knock him out in the fifth, and he's like, all right, in the sixth, he finally caught him. That's my take. Do you agree, or what? How do you see that?
So I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about fighting, but I know this: I will gladly get my jaw broken for that amount of money. So
Yeah, he can
in my
still
opinion,
talk. He was still talking. Like,
yeah. See, he's
talk with a
fine.
broken jaw. Yeah.
I mean, it's just from the picture, the pre-fight, like the interview and stuff, where they were standing up next to each other. Anthony Joshua is
Dude,
a freaking beast, man. Like
yeah,
that is
he's
not
a mountain of a man.
He is not
compared
somebody
to-
that. I mean, he's not the person I'd like to get punched in the face by, but yeah, I'll run around the ring for a few rounds, and I don't
Right.
think he. So I didn't know this. Wayne probably knows, but I was under the impression that just like Jake Paul's like kind of good, but I guess he's fought at like a bunch of nobodies, like not real fighters or whatever. So this
Past they
wouldn't.
prime, washed up, retired boxers. Nobody
Okay.
current.
Okay. So this he was like a massive, massive underdog.
Oh God.
I mean, I didn't have
Yeah.
I didn't have really a winner pick, but I just thought if they was fighting for real, in no world would I pick Jake Paul to beat
No.
Okay.
Joshua.
His own
In
brother
no
wouldn't
world.
have picked him. No.
Well, in that case, he probably did all right then, right? I mean,
No,
I
everyone
mean, he
is
did good
saying.
considering, yeah.
But see, here's my
But
thing.
it was a lot of, like I said, I went back and looked at it. It
He
was a lot of
toying
holding
with
too.
him. But he was toying with him. Is my thing is like, okay,
Yeah.
what if they told Joshua that he gets a $100 million bonus if he knocks him out in the first round? Do you think the fight would have went the same? I don't. I think he could have knocked him out in the first round if like it had that much on it. I think it was the opposite. There was more money to be made because you have to keep this thing going. You can't have a fight go one round, people complain, and they're like, "Oh, that's not worth it." And then the next time that there's a fight like this, you know what people don't do? They don't watch. So you have to keep it interesting, guys. You have to keep it 6
True.
rounds. Otherwise, people ain't going to watch. This was a joke from the beginning. They have to pretend that it's not a joke. I'm too smart for that. But here I'm saying that, and I still watched. Just because I like to be part of the circus, though, man. What else am I doing on a Saturday night? I was at
Not
the
me.
bar.
Very
I know what
gypsy
I
of
was
you.
doing on a Saturday night. I know exactly what I was doing. Why I wasn't watching, or not Saturday because it was Friday.
Or Friday.
Yeah.
Friday, yeah.
Yeah. Johnny
Yeah, I
Manziel was up there Friday too because he didn't
Yeah.
make it to Saturday.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Now that shocker. Is anyone shocked that Johnny Manziel, as we transition to college football, beautiful Miles, finally doing something that can help us instead of touching tips? College football. Was
We got
anyone
right back to
shocked?
the tips.
Raise your hand if you're shocked that Johnny Manziel couldn't make a morning meeting regarding sports because he partied too hard. You're surprised, Wayne?
Because I'm gonna say why I'm surprised.
All right.
I'm gonna say why I'm surprised because he's been doing some media work here lately. Like he has his own podcast and he does
Yes,
the
and, he,
nightcap,
and he's
that's
sober,
at night.
supposedly.
Yeah, right. So he's been saying he's turned his life around, trying to
Yeah,
talk
maybe
to
not
people
sober.
that make him,
Maybe not all the way like sober, but
yeah,
like, come
maybe
on.
like a casual drinker at best. You know what I mean? But so and then knowing that he gonna be on College Game Day, what that show represents, I was a little surprised. I'm not gonna lie, I was.
As sober as Charlie Sheen. Yeah.
Well,
Relapsed 3 or 4 times.
yeah, I don't know. Let's get into these games. Bryce, let's start with you. So
All right.
I like that the coaching staff from, was it Tulane, that said, look, did we help our case? Maybe not. But look, I'm just the coach. They told me my team made it. I'm just coaching my guys. Like, there does need to be at least one team in, probably, to make it fair. But look, I get that a lot of
With the
people are
law.
upset, and I get that we didn't help our chances, like to make people not mad at us. I get that. I like that he said all that. He addressed the elephant in the room, like you don't belong here. He addressed it. He said, he almost apologized for it. Like, look, guys, I don't make the rules. I just coach my team. Did you like that he did that? And what's your take on everything there with those games that we knew were going to go that way?
Yeah, I mean, I like John Summerall a lot as a coach. I don't know if y'all saw he took the Florida job and he donated $100,000 to Tulane's NIL on the way out. He's a cool guy. I think he kind of read the room. He knew what everybody was thinking. Like,
Exactly.
everybody thinks my team sucks. And, I mean, they did get their ass beat. But the thing
They
is,
lost the same team twice.
yeah, I mean, none of the results so far have been surprising. That's
No.
exactly what I thought was going to happen in every single one.
Miami and yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect that
Alabama.
one to be as low scoring, maybe, but I told you
But the outcome,
2 weeks
yeah.
ago. I told you like 2 weeks ago that those were two of the best offensive lines in the country, two of the best in the trenches. So I figured it would be a slugfest. Yeah, I mean, you can't really be mad at Tulane. They won the games that were on their schedule. The ACC shit the bed, and a lot of the G5 teams just weren't as good this year. So, I mean, I don't have any resentment towards Tulane, but I'm not surprised they got their ass beat.
Yeah, they beat Duke, right?
Yeah.
Tulane beat the ACC champion, which makes no
Yep.
sense. And he mentioned that, like, look, what do you want us to do? Your ACC, we beat them. Like, so I get it, and that was cool that he did that. Wayne, what is one thing, if anything, that did surprise you about college football weekend? Obviously not those two games, but I'm talking about Oklahoma, Alabama, and the Miami low-scoring game. Did anything surprise you there?
Two things surprised me, actually. Two things. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I don't know, for those of y'all see me on TikTok, I'm kind of loud when it comes to some of them games. But anyway, the Alabama game surprised me, and the Oregon game surprised me. Both of them.
So let's talk about Oregon then. What was so surprising there? How many points they gave up
How
at the
the hell
end?
you give up all them goddamn yards?
What?
Like, what you doing? Like, come on now.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a bloodbath. I'm sitting there looking at the game. I've got my popcorn ready. I
No,
done
but
got
it
the
was
kids
over.
to bed.
Miles, that game was over though at that point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's
It
typical.
was,
and
but you're supposed to lead. If we want everybody talks about they want the best teams. You want the best teams in there. So I'm going to put out there, you have no business being on the field with us. I don't care if you're 11-2, 11-0. You are single A playing in triple A. That's what you doing. We are Oregon. We at the crib, and we about to snatch your heart and feed it back to you.
And you gave up
beat your eyes
34.
out for 3 hours.
And you gave up
Pillows to
34,
post.
right? Is
And
that what?
500 plus. Like, come on now. What are you doing? You're supposed to make an example out of. So maybe something will change, next year
Why?
for the play.
Why?
What? Why what?
Why do they have to make an example? You just get out of there in advance. Why does it
Because
matter?
if it's
Just win the
close,
game and move on.
No. You can't. I kind of agree with Wayne. You can't make it close. Now there's an argument
Because
that
if you
they
do that,
belong there.
because if they close, if let's say they won, let's say it was in 14, they're like, oh, well, see,
Yeah.
this is why we put these poverty schools in there, because
Right,
they can
and
hang
you
with
don't-
Oregon.
So if you're
Who else can you
Oregon,
hang with?
if you're Oregon, of course I wanted a poverty school there, an easier team to beat year after year in the playoff. Of course I want JMU and Tulane in the
Well,
playoff.
yeah. If you're Oregon, we're
yes,
talking
that's
about
the whole,
for college football though. Like we're talking.
But if you're Oregon, why does Oregon? But the whole point should be why does Oregon need to make an example out of JMU? I want everyone I can beat easily to play close to me, and I just beat them in advance. Bring them again, and I'll do the same thing time and time and time again.
But Wayne, that's not what you're talking about, right? I mean,
No, I'm talking about if I'm Oregon and if I'm Dan Lannon, I'm like, look, dude, we about to tear their ass off the bone tonight. They got no business being on the field with us because I believe I'm a champion. I think Dan Lannon. I mean, a lot of people are Kirby. I'm more of a Dan Lannon. I think them like the best. Well, you got to put Ryan Day in there. I guess you have to. But them top three.
Ugh.
I feel like I got a championship aspirations. Because nobody's talking about Oregon winning the title. They might be talking about Indiana a little bit. They're talking about Ohio State, Georgia. Nobody's talking about Oregon. So I'm going to get out there. I don't want to just advance. I'm going to make a statement. And if it's got to be at the expense of JMU, so be it. Because I'm
Completely
not just
disagree.
supposed to be here. You know what I mean?
Completely disagree. I've been talking about Oregon as a national title contender is the Big Ten.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
Personally, yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
because they have a team when they're healthy. Why? Who cares? Who cares? I want the worst opponent possible in front of me. So bring him back year after year after year. Put him in front of me.
So,
I'll
Miles,
play
I get
him
what you're
close. Yeah.
I
Go
get
ahead.
what you're
Go ahead,
saying.
Bryce.
This is why, see, Miles, this is why I say the Big Ten is, I don't know if they're better than the SEC, but they damn sure smarter because of the scheduling. Look at all these Big Ten teams. Look at Ohio State's record. Look at Indiana's record. Hell, look at Oregon's record. You know what I mean? Well, Penn State was supposed to be there, but they really wasn't all that. All their records is good.
They got
SEC,
hurt, and then other
yeah.
things happened. And Bryce has already taled about that. Top
They
10
cannibalize
roster,
each
just
other.
things happen.
Yeah, they
There's not
cannibalize.
nowhere
Yeah,
near as much
that
cannibalism in the Big Ten as it is the SEC, and it's because of that y'all do get better seeds.
Okay, I thought you were going a different direction with that.
Bryce,
No,
get
That's
in
okay.
there.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Bryce,
Yeah,
what
and as a result, they got the past two champions. The past two champions have been Big Ten, so it's a
You
real
should know how
debate.
to-
So
yeah.
So I don't know if they're the better conference, but they damn sure the smartest. But and to Miles' point, he talking just like why would I'm talking about making a statement? You know, homeboy grew up in the South over here talking about I'm trying to make a statement. I'll beat anybody.
In the first
everybody.
game with 3 games left, I'm not making any damn statement. Move on to Texas Tech. Why make a statement when you got 3 other games to play?
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
I get your point, Miles. If you're Oregon, like if you're Dan Lanning right now, if you're an Oregon fan, you could give a shit less. I mean, you won, you moved on, and you're fine playing shitty teams every year. But from an outside perspective, you want to put let's look at the Ole Miss and Tulane. Ole Miss didn't play with their food. Like, it's just, you got your ass kicked, move on. Oregon, I think a football person would probably look at it and be like, well, they took their foot off the gas. I mean, they clearly did. I don't think they thought that there was ever a chance James Madison was going to win, but they ended with like 5 total yards of difference. Like, they had like 509. It was like 509 total yards to 514 or something. Like, that just looks sloppy. It just doesn't look good. Yes, you win, you advance, but to Wayne's point, I think that kind of takes it to where it's like, okay, well, now, your next opponent is going to look, Texas Tech's going to look at that and be like, the JMU can get 500 yards on this team. Like, we definitely can too.
And look how they talk about Indiana. We'll talk about Indiana. Look how they talk about Indiana. A lot of people, maybe not some big time. I happen to think Indiana's pretty good. But around the South, what do we hear with Indiana? Oh, they ain't played nobody.
Yeah,
if
nobody.
They played in the SEC, they have 5 losses. Now, I disagree with that. I happen to think Indiana's pretty good. But the narrative around them, they can't really hang with the big dogs because they don't really play them throughout their schedule.
Ohio State. All we did was beat Ohio State.
Until Ohio State, until the Big Ten, until the Big
going.
Ten championship. I think the narrative switched a lot with that. Some people's eyes got open.
Not
with
online,
Oregon.
it hasn't.
Some people opened their eyes with the Oregon game, but a lot of people I talked to, Ohio State's when they were like, okay, this team's actually pretty decent.
Again, and I happen to disagree with that. I do think Indiana is about that. But overall, yeah.
And without a doubt, this is the worst SEC in a long time. And SEC hasn't made the national title game in the last 2 years. This is the worst Georgia, the worst Alabama team in a long time. Ole Miss remains to be seen. But you want to talk about not playing a lot of people. You can't tell me the SEC keeps beating up on each other when you have an A&M team that had no one on their schedule. Other than Notre Dame, you beat them on the road. That's great.
They had Texas on there. They had Texas on there and lost.
Cute. And you lost by, And then look what Texas did this year. Quite frankly, not
what
that great of a team.
Whoa. We ain't just going to blow by like what you mean? 2 of the teams in the playoffs, they beat.
Okay.
Texas, A&M, and Oklahoma.
Cool.
Great. And nobody played Ohio State
round.
better than we did. Well, Indiana
wrong.
Indiana did.
Correct.
But them notwithstanding.
Correct.
them notwithstanding.
We exist. It matters.
I love this.
All right, Wayne, move on. Just don't go there because you're wrong.
Okay, so this reminds me of a bit. The comedian is Pablo Francisco, and he has a bit where he talks about Jerry Springer, and which I used to watch all the time. And Jerry Springer, here's his impression of Jerry Springer, the people that he has on his show. Now listen, I don't like blacks and I don't like Mexicans. Oh, really? Well, we just happen to have some blacks and we happen to have some Mexicans. Oh, I got a knife here. Do something with the knife. And this is what was kind of with Wade and Miles going back and forth, and we're just like the entertainment of it. Like I just love it. So let's get back into college football now that to me it's really starting. This was all a bunch of BS. Now I get Alabama. Wayne, I know you were impressed with Alabama. Let's start there real quick, and we'll get into the rest of the games then moving forward. I know you were impressed with what was it, 24 unanswered on the road.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, Alabama answered some questions, and you can't be too mad that a 3-loss Alabama team.
I'll be honest. I don't know if they really answered any questions, but I was still impressed because really Oklahoma, it just seemed like their defense is good, but it seemed like that's what they was just trying to keep them out there 3 hours. And I don't care if you got the 2,000 Ravens out there, you can't have a defense out there 3 hours. And so, because Alabama's game, they was trying to. I mean, I still don't trust their run game. Ty did good. I mean, they received. I mean, that one dimension really showed up. And Oklahoma, I just feel like I was waiting on their offense to kind of give me something. Like, give me some more. Like, you at home, you got 50 Cent, who actually probably inspired Alabama.
What was that? What was that?
Because I guess they've been hard to kill. But really, if you think about it, Alabama was really the 50 Cent. I don't know if y'all have heard the song Many Men. It's about him getting shot 9 times. Let's think about this. Alabama lost to Oklahoma last year. They lost to them this year, and they down 17 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Which team? That sounds like the team that got shot 9 times. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, who we trying? Who is this guy?
This is a good point.
That's what it kind of. I'm not taking nothing from Alabama because again, I didn't think they was gonna win. I thought they was gonna lose. I thought they was gonna be calling for Kalen DeBoer's head, although they shouldn't because.
And now look, they're gonna re-sign him, and
I thought it was gonna be all that, but
yeah.
I'm just kind of looking at Oklahoma like, what are you doing, dog? Like, what you got going on? Like, you just can't play defense for 3 hours. You got to have something to complement that. You know, you got to have something for that. And so when they play Indiana, I mean, I don't want to sound like the dude that pick Alabama to lose every week, but you're not going to have some of them same luxuries that you did past Friday. You just you playing another team in maroon, so a crimson. So you got that going on. They need to figure that out. But I mean, I'm sitting there looking like, what you looking at?
We do. OU
Bryce,
to IU. Yes.
Bryce, this is your introduction to Wayne. This is perfect. How do you see? Let's talk a bit about IU Alabama because instantly everyone's thinking that. And here's the meme that went out that I saw. Let's see if the underdogs from Alabama can take on the juggernaut that is IU. And we all know, obviously, if that matchup happens, it's supposed to be reversed, that the juggernaut Alabama, so it is hilarious that it's set up this way. I'll be honest, I still have IU. I'm kind of on the bandwagon. I don't know against Georgia, but I do have them against Alabama. How do you see, how do you see this going?
So the thing about this Alabama team is it's not the Alabama team we grew up, or, for the past decade or two, where you have a strong run game. Your secondary's got multiple NFL players in it. It's complete opposite this year. The run game is underwhelming at best. The secondary is not good. I mean, it can be exposed. Fernando Mendoza, Indiana's offense is obviously way better than John Mateer and whatever Oklahoma throws out there. I think Ty Simpson, like Wayne mentioned it, Ty Simpson impressed me. I've actually been a pretty big Ty Simpson hater, but he kind of he doesn't get rattled, which is a big thing this time of year. I thought Oklahoma's defense is very hard. Brent Venables he knows how to make life hell for a quarterback. And I thought Ty Simpson went through his progressions well. I thought he kept plays alive. I don't ever count Alabama out with Ty Simpson this year. But, I mean, you do have to factor in that Alabama does have a more talented roster. They have more 5-star recruits. They have, they have all of that. It's kind of the hardest game of the second round. This is the game that I have the most trouble with, just from going through, because I see a couple scenarios. I see a scenario where Alabama wins close, and I see a scenario where Indiana wins close and where Indiana wins pretty big. But I don't see a scenario where Alabama wins big. I just don't think they're going to be able to control the ball. I think Indiana's defense will throw some confusing things at Ty Simpson. I don't think they're going to be able to run on Indiana. So, I don't know, though. Score predictions, not sure yet. But I do probably lean Indiana right now.
Yeah, it's early. Wayne, what's an X factor for you?
I'll be honest. I got Indiana through and through. The only way you gonna beat Indiana is for them to do something they haven't been all year. You're gonna have to be tough, physical, and wear them out and beat them down. And Bama can't do that. Not this roster. Not this roster. Like Bryce said, gone are the days of Trent Richardson. Gone are the days of Mark Henry. Gone are the days of T.J. Yeldon.
Eddie Lacy. Yeah.
With on the defense with Reuben Foster and Dante Hightower. Gone are the days. All that is over with. Playtime is over with. So, like a lot of people, talk about the SEC, playing that SEC brand of football. Bama, I mean, they still play SEC brand of football, but it's like diet SEC. You know what I mean? Georgia can kind of do it, but this is like a diet Alabama team. But you need straight dope, straight caffeine, straight syrup. And you ain't got none of that with this Alabama team. Never in my life did I think I would see an Alabama team that can't run. But I'd be damned if that's not what I'm looking at. So you're going to have to do something that you hadn't really done all year. And if you get down 17 points against Indiana, them boys is not going to let you off the hook. They not going to let you off the hook. So you got – because Kalen DeBoer ain't really an SEC coach. And he's going to have to play away because that's really when they started playing different. And that's kind of conducive to what Indiana does. They're like a QB pro-style type team. And I'm sorry, Indiana has the better quarterback. They have the better quarterback. You are going up against a Heisman caliber talent, a Heisman caliber offense that's been tested. They've been tested. Regardless if the masses think Indiana, they just playing in cornfields and ain't played nobody all year. They have done that. They have been tested. It may not be SEC stuff, but there are good teams that live outside the Southeastern Conference. Well, I know that's breaking news to some people, but there are good teams outside of that. Alabama ain't been Alabama in a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Of the thing. I agree with you. That's kind of the thing, though, is like, usually you could say Indiana hasn't played the bodies they're going to play against Alabama because let's just be honest. I mean, yes, the Big Ten's won the last couple titles. You can say whatever you want about that, but the SEC bodies are different, right? Like you have most of these guys are 5-star or 4-star. They're just built for the NFL. They're big
LSU,
kids.
Georgia, Alabama.
Yeah, it's just a different type of recruit. But when you go
a lot
to
of ass in the SEC.
When you look at Indiana's schedule, though, they already beat two teams that I would say have SEC athletes, which is Oregon and Ohio State. I mean, so you can't say that there's nothing that they're going to be. I don't think Alabama's going to have anything, especially like we said, without a bruising run game. There's nothing that Alabama's going to bring that Indiana's going to be like overmatched by.
No,
right?
Yeah, that's what's crazy. Miles, has anything been missed so far? We're going to have time to get into more, but on this very program before it's all said and done. But this is our early look at these matchups. But Miles, has anything been missed about IU? Mr. IU.
Yeah, these two others derailed earlier, but they got right back on the tracks here. Look, plain and simple, Alabama can unequivocally win this game, and that's why we play the game. It doesn't matter that they're college kids, or some are 18, others are
They
like
cannot win
36.
the game. It's all right to be. They cannot.
They,
No, they cannot.
have the legal opportunity to win this
The
football
legal
game.
opportunity, yes. Thank you, Mr.
And
President.
it happens in the NFL too. Yeah, you're welcome. The bylaws and the try laws.
Yeah.
So, of course, as the ultimate pessimist, being where I've been all time for the last 130 years, even when I was dead, I was following IU football and understood where we came from. Yes, Bama can win this game because they have more talent. They have more 5 stars, but we have seen what IU can do. And yes, you want to say we play cupcakes. Matter of fact, hey, by the way, 2 of our cupcakes non-conference won 10 games this year. You know, that's better than Samford and OK Upstate, whatever, downward, whatever, here, there, or Neverland. Any case, what I think that is not being mentioned is the cataclysmic injury at the end of, not just the end, but in celebration, that IU is now down our top 2 defensive ends. Obviously, Wyatt's been out for half the year. We knew that, but now with our leading TFL cat, could make or break IU, and actually could work to our advantage in a game like this with Alabama not having a very good run game. We're going to show different packages defensively that could disrupt us. That could really, really disrupt them. So I'm really curious to see what IU throws, what Bryant Haynes, on a new contract, mind you, throws at Alabama defensively to not only deplete the running game, but to really disrupt what Ty Simpson has to do. Honestly, as an IU fan, knowing what our weaknesses are defensively, I was praying to God Bama won this game. And I prayed to God that Bama won this game with Oklahoma giving them the game. And that is exactly what happened on Friday night. And I mean, all these things, the SEC, whatever say, oh man, IU should be so scared. There is nothing more than what Coach Sig wants to do than beat the holy shit out of a team he coached for before. And obviously, DeBoer was our offensive coordinator and really is the main factor of why we're decent in 2019 and had the success in 2020. But this game means nothing close to DeBoer compared to what it means to Sig going into this game. This dude is going to be at another level. It doesn't matter what time it is in the game. He's going to be attack all day long. He learned from his mistakes last year against Ohio State in the shoe, getting beat down, and then obviously against Notre Dame in the playoff game. He will attack all night long, and if we lose doing that, so be it. But there will be nothing left in this IU team.
You know you're not going to lose. You're not going to lose.
We'll
I
find
hope
out.
you're right, Mr. Auburn. I hope you're right.
You're not going to lose.
I hope so.
Let's take a look at, and like I said, we're going to get into with more intricacy these games, but Ohio State opening up at 9.5-point favorites. We mentioned IU; they are 6.5 favorites, 6.5-point favorites. Oregon opens up as 1.5-point favorites, and Georgia against Ole Miss, 6.5. Bryce, do any of those numbers shock you, and if so, why? Those
Not
opening
really.
lines, right?
Not really.
I was wondering. I mean, they don't shock me at all.
I mean, the IU line, maybe, just because of like precedent, I guess.
Historically.
Yeah,
Historically,
just
yeah.
historically. I mean, imagine you showed somebody that opening line like even 2 years ago. Like,
Yeah,
what
but
the hell?
Institutionalized.
imagine if you
They're
said
in the insane
the number
asylum.
one team and you just put blindfold on and said, here's the number one team. They're the only team that's 13-0 and they're playing against a team that's 11-3. Now you say,
That's
actually,
true.
I can understand if it would be 9.5 points, not 6.5. I think because it's Alabama that they're giving them those 3 points, in my
So it's
opinion.
already moved to 7 in some places. So it's kind of moving further
Yeah.
away from Alabama. 7.5 IU, I would. This is not betting advice, but 7.5 IU, I would definitely take that because I don't think it'll be. I have a good feeling about it. not being a blowout. I'll just say that. I feel within
agree.
10 points, I would be pretty comfortable with that. That didn't really surprise me. I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes towards the end of the week because I feel like it'll move a little bit more.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about it. I mean, it's not for a while that these games, today's the 22nd, and we have a ways to go.
Well, what about the Oregon-Texas Tech one? Did that surprise anybody? Oregon being favored?
By 1.5 is what I show as of now. There's 19 different apps you can look at, but yeah, I mean, I think it's weird because Texas Tech didn't show me enough throughout the year, and Oregon's battle tested, and for them to only be favored by 1.5.
It's only injuries. That's the only reason this game stays close is because of injuries. And that's part of the game, obviously.
Hold on. So who y'all picking for
and
the
that's
game?
questionable what Oregon is,
I don't
what
know
they
yet.
put out on the field.
It's early, Wayne. It's early, bro. It's early. I mean, I don't know yet. I don't know,
Shit,
man.
I do.
You early. It's only the 22nd. It's only the 22nd. We got more than a week, bro. We got more than a week.
I mean, I feel pretty comfortable with Oregon.
Really?
I do.
Yeah, Texas.
See, this is why I'm not going to tell you yet. I gotta
see, because people don't realize, because you don't watch Oregon football like I do, it's the fact that they get healthier every week, and that makes them really scary. And the fact that Oregon has the potential to be full strength.
500 yards.
That's what you're going off of.
No, I'm going off more than. Look, let me tell you something.
Stop looking at the box score. That's not reality. And also not comparing to what they can be. It doesn't matter.
I would take Dale over Kirby.
Cool. And IU only beat Old Dominion by 13. And yet they're the number one team in the country that beat Ohio State. You can't.
I'm taking Texas Tech. Give me Texas Tech for sure.
I hope you're right. I pray you're right. I pray Texas Tech wins this game as an IU fan.
Yeah,
I pray to God we play.
Because he wants the easy way, but
sweet baby Jesus.
So there's my point.
Now, granted,
Oregon's
Indiana
a better football
can beat
team.
either one, so it really don't make it.
Considering we already did.
They would beat Texas Tech. They would beat Texas Tech. They would. I ain't gonna say annihilate. They would just beat either one because it's hard to beat a team twice in the same year.
And Oregon will be
that's
healthier. You don't understand the roster. Oregon gets healthier every week from this time out. Look at the roster. Look what has happened to the roster and what the injuries are. Oregon is going to get healthier every week, and that makes them a serious problem, a serious contender. Sure. They've been tested. Adam and I talk about it all the time. Oregon can win the national title. If things break their way, that's fine. Every team's got to have a break. But if Oregon heals the way they should and take care of Texas Tech, Oregon unequivocally can win the national title. Absolutely believe that.
This isn't year.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah. This isn't
because you don't know, because you haven't seen their full roster this year.
What you mean?
And they have a chance to
They've
have
had a lot of
roster.
They've had a lot of key players.
Yes,
and
they can come back, and they aren't out for the year. Oregon absolutely can win the national title because their key components come back this season if they beat Texas Tech.
This is how talk like this is exactly why Tulane and James Madison got in the goddamn playoff. They doing good. They can absolutely do it. If they stay healthy and they play right, they play hard, they play tough, they can get it.
They're not Oregon.
Exactly
They're not Oregon, though.
They're not Oregon.
They're not Oregon, though. I mean, come on. There is a break. Now, here's one thing, guys, because you just said it's hard to beat a team twice. Texas Tech on November 8th, they beat them 29-7, and then December 6th beat them 34-7. And BYU was not looked at as a trash team. So when you say it's hard to beat a team twice, they throw them
that's
twice.
Ridiculous. They're the magicians. They're smoking mirrors. BYU is garbage.
That's completely. I don't think that's apples to apples because you look at Texas Tech. They have the best roster that oil money can buy. It's one of the most expensive rosters.
He's my age. He's 35 years old. He bought a team.
You got BYU that's starting a true freshman quarterback that didn't know he was starting until 2 weeks before the season. They have multiple white guys playing skill positions. That's just not.
Wayne.
This is why we have Bryce here. This is why we have Bryce. BYU.
I mean, it's just not apples to apples.
No, yeah, correct.
They still
So much better. Oregon is so much better than BYU. It's not even close.
No, that's fair. I'm just saying,
But playing
how many
twice. You're
games?
talking about playing teams
But
twice.
how many? I know, and how many games did BYU lose?
And
Only two. And
Oklahoma
those
and
were the
Alabama
two.
played twice this year, and we saw how that went. Georgia and
Yeah.
Alabama played twice this year, and we see how that went.
Look,
You know what I'm saying? So
I wasn't lying
They
when I
split.
said that we
Georgia
had
and
a good
Alabama
show.
split, so it's different. Yeah.
I just proved my point. I wasn't lying when I said that today we had a good show. We still got more. Are we? How are we feeling about Georgia, Ole Miss? I think only being 6.5 points. I don't know. Georgia. I think Georgia is my pick to win the national championship. If you had to pin me down, I want IU to win. Just like as a fan of college football, as a fan of UCLA, and I don't have a dog in the fight, and I live in the state of Indiana, I also think it'd be hilarious because IU basketball / Notre Dame football fans have to be just beside themselves if IU football wins the national championship, whereas Notre Dame football didn't even make it. Like that will give me this just such a great like ha moment. So, but Georgia, Ole Miss, 6.5 points. Bryce, on our too early to tell. How are you feeling about that game?
I thought it could have been more in Georgia's favor.
Yeah,
I think it was cute. Ole Miss against Tulane in the first round, but I think Georgia's just the better. It's a battle tested team. I don't think this one will be very close, to be honest.
belt to ass, Wayne. Belt to ass over there. Is that what you're? Yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to move to NFL because there was a lot of funky things going on, and I
Some
want
good
to
news
start.
today.
And because F Miami.
So
Don't even talk about the Ohio State Miami game, apparently.
yeah, well, that's 10 points. That's not even we're over it.
We'll
No
see
one
what
liked.
Miami's defense does. Even though Ohio State's offense
yeah, I would
can't
take Miami in the
finish.
points, not to win, but just from a
No,
betting
Yeah.
thing. I would take them.
I think Dwayne's
That's
got
fair.
a point. I
That's
think
fair.
that game could be absolutely closer than you think because
Miami
Yeah.
does have a real defense, but I'm not trusting Carson Beck to do anything against them.
No, I'm just
No,
talking about
Ohio
like
State
the
wins the
spread,
game.
just the points.
Yeah.
I'm strictly talking about.
But
Yeah, I got Texas Tech
staying under
beating
pressure
Oregon for
is a
sure,
bitch.
but the Miami thing, I would just take Miami and the points.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
So, all right, I want to shift to Detroit because first I want to thank them for doing what I said they would do, which is take a back seat this year. And they did, and by losing a few hours ago last night in a weird way, which we'll get into, my 49ers are now automatically in the playoffs before they even take the field. Before they even take the field, Wayne. Because I know you were
No, I
lost.
thought you was.
You were lost.
I was lost. I thought
You were lost, and now you have found saving grace.
I thought you was talking about the Wolverines or something.
No. So, but I want to get into this because that last play of the game was the most bizarre. We'll get into DK Metcalf, like we can get into everything, but that was the weirdest. Here's the scenario: if you didn't see it, so first of all, the game was wacky because Pittsburgh was running away with it, and then I'm texting Miles in the game that, hey, we're in the playoffs. Like at about halftime, I'm texting him this because I just think it's over. Then I'm like, whoops, Pittsburgh's drunk right now. I don't know what they're doing, letting Detroit back in the game. And then at the very end, Goff makes a play. The refs don't know. They talk about it for what seemed like about 4 minutes. There was a lateral, and Goff got in the end zone for a touchdown. And it was ruled later as a touchdown, but it was offensive pass interference, and the play took so long that the clock was at triple zeros. When it's an offensive penalty, you don't go back the clock, you don't replay the down, the game can't end on a defensive penalty, but it can end on an offensive. So it was a touchdown, ruled a touchdown. The penalty brings it back. Let's replay the down. Oh, sorry, the game's at zeros. The game is over, and the Steelers win. that was by far the most bizarre ending I've ever seen because the refs took so long. Miles, did they get the call exactly right? Did you see everything that went down?
So I could not catch an angle where the offensive pass interference occurred.
Same.
So that I can't
I
speak
just
of.
take their word for
That
it,
I
I
cannot
guess.
speak on. But based on the NFL rules, they saw that's a subjective call. Based on NFL rules, correct. Offensive penalty, the game ends, which is not true at every level. We actually saw it in a very viral clip that happened in the state of Indiana that went to the freaking moon, where an offensive penalty occurred, but they got another play. But by NFL rules, yes, the game is over. Now, did the offensive pass interference happen? Don't know. Should have been called? Really don't know, because you would even figure, even if it's like borderline, you let that
You
go.
let it go.
And
Yeah.
you do it for the home team. But again, I did not see it live, and I didn't see it on replay either, because quite frankly, I saw the play multiple times. I'm like,
I saw it live. I couldn't figure
where
out.
did the route develop? Where did it happen? Here nor there, whatever. All I can think of, the coin flip. Heads. He called head. No, I said tails. I keep thinking of the Steelers Lions. I think that was a Thanksgiving game, the overtime that ended up costing them, and Jerome Bennis just getting pissed. So maybe that was, something that came back to bite them. 25 years later, a little bit there of. I don't even know, because no one's still involved with that. No, the refs, the players, but revenge for whatever the Steelers and Lions can have amongst each other. But either way, Steelers, Lions, you're not winning the Super Bowl, and I guess the Steelers are going to probably win their division and get a home game.
Because the
And,
Ravens
hell, with
lost.
the way this season's going now,
Who
who
knows?
the hell knows? Maybe the Steelers end up going to the Super Bowl, and we just throw our hands up in the air and say I give up on it. But in any case, the Lions are done. They deserve to be done. We knew they were going downhill. They completely underachieved, and well, I guess Carolina, California. I just hope that's the NFC Championship game now. But the way it
Can I
goes,
just say the way
don't
that
know.
they announced the way that the refs handled it? I mean, I know they there was only so many ways they could do it, but they basically were like, "Congrats, it's a touchdown, you win. Oh, go fuck yourself." Like that, like they couldn't have done it in a more.
Yeah.
Awkward.
It was just hearing the crowd just go crazy, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, you lost. Sorry," and then
Yeah.
everybody just like,
Penalty, game over.
yeah, that was brutal for Lions fans.
Wayne, do you know who from Pinckney, Michigan, do you know who Ryan Kennedy is? Neither did anyone else until today. So yesterday he was involved with Decalen Zacharias Metcalf, which is what he called him, his government name, and DK wasn't having it, and so he punched him. So I don't know. I mean, social media is going crazy over this. Like, go ahead, get that bag, because now he can sue the NFL or sue, whatever. If that's truly what he said, is he just called him by his government name? Nah, man, that ain't reason to like pull. He was wearing like a fake blue wig, and DK like reached up into the crowd and grabbed this dude and like tried to kind of punch him. I thought there was like a Jake or Logan Paul thing, like it was a fake. I don't know what was going on, but it was a fan altercation, and it's gonna be bad. We'll find out what happens later today, probably. But that was wild when you have a fan altercation. Did you see it, Wayne? Like when it went down and all that?
I did. I saw it. I was getting some chips, but I came back and I saw. So I missed it but actually, so I have seen it several times.
The
Because the
rest missed
first
it
time
too.
I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it at first. So I went back and looked. I was like, wait. Let me look again. So I caught it on the second one. I'ma still blame DK because what you doing over there?
Yeah, bro.
What you doing over there?
Come on, bro.
Like what you doing over there? What you doing over there? Nothing good can
You a
come from
visiting
you.
player. You're the visiting team.
Nothing good can come out of that. So what
You won.
what you doing over there? That's my whole thing. So you put yourself in a compromising situation there. Like if you know you sensitive, which most of them tend to be. What you going over there? What you going over there? And I'm sure, especially I think as odd, because I'm sure you've been called worse. I
Yeah,
would
he
think.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
supposedly called him his name, his
Did
real name.
DK say that though? Like, is the fan claiming that's all he said, or did the fan?
Yes.
Well,
The
then he's
fan is
lying.
claiming.
Well, yeah,
I
but
mean,
who cares what he called him? He could call him an F and N or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you've been
Like,
called it a million times. What, you won the game, so emotions are
well,
no
at that
excuse.
time,
Even if they were an excuse, why are you engaging with a fan? You
at that
home
time he wasn't
away.
winning.
You've
He didn't
been
win yet.
whatever.
at that time,
What,
he wasn't winning.
whatever you've
I'm
been,
just
and then
saying.
that makes it even worse that the game's still going on. But you're an NFL player that you're surrounded by 60 to 100,000 people every given Sunday during the season. You get called 60 to 100,000 different things every weekend, home and away, and you played for multiple teams. You called your mama the worst thing on planet Earth and beyond and anything else. Why? I mean, Wayne said it best. Why are you over there engaging with them? It's
I mean,
absurd.
Miles, I might surprise you. I actually, I kind of see both sides of it, because I feel like some fans, just from maybe I'm too close to it, but I feel like some fans feel like invincible. Like, they feel like they can
Sure.
say whatever they want. Like you kind of look at them as if like the athletes are not people. They're just like
Right.
entertainment.
A spectacle.
I've seen it. Trust me. I
Now,
was
granted-
around a Division I program for too many years, and a very bad one back when we were very bad. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. But you don't give it your business. Don't give it your business. You are above some idiot wearing a blue
Yeah,
wig.
You make
doesn't
$1
make
billion
any sense.
and he makes, $64,000 a year. Like, what are we talking about, right?
Well-
Like, it was just bizarre
No
just to
attention to
see, So, all right, the lines are out. The Steelers are in. Shocker. But Bears Packers, let's go there, because that game ended at almost midnight Eastern on Saturday. I love December. I love Christmas time because it always means we get a few bonus games on a random Saturday, and so I didn't have to get stuck with the bad college football. The Eagles, they took care of business. That's no big deal. But this overtime game was nuts. And again, here we are showing up to the show, giving flowers to Caleb Williams, because he handled the interview great. He handled that second half great. He was gift wrapped at the onside kick. That's fine. That's part of football, though. It happens. And I just thought, man, at some point, we really have to give him credit. And I will admit, as a Niner fan who needs to win all these upcoming games, who play the Bears next after we play tonight, like, I'm kind of not like, oh, same old Bears. I'm actually nervous. I mean, we have them at home, but still. So I don't know, Bryce. Were you a fan? I don't know if we've talked about this before. A fan coming out of college with Caleb and being the number one pick, and what do you think of his progression?
I mean, I didn't think he would be this good right away. No, this soon. No, I wasn't a big fan. I didn't think he would be a number one quarterback. I thought he could be average quarterback. I mean, I don't know if some of that was after he got selected by the Bears, and
Like they were going to ruin him.
First,
But see,
having
then
had a
Ben
4,000
Johnson
yard
comes.
passer in 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have been very impressed by him this year, though, and Ben Johnson too, first year head coach.
Oh, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen. We'll get into that.
You know,
too.
you want to know something funny about that though? So, my father-in-law is a diehard Packers fan, and he was at my
Sucks
house.
for
We're
him.
watching the game.
Oh God,
We're watching the game together, and
bad.
Packers were up by 10 with what, like 2 minutes left?
Yeah,
Less
like
than
the
2
game's
minutes.
over. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like Wayne.
He
shut it
literally
off, probably.
like he literally went home, and he was like, "All right, we won, cool," and he went home.
Oh.
And then I was like doing stuff with my kid
Then the
and trying to
onside
get my kid to go to bed.
and,
And he
I thought
called
he
me.
was
and
going to
was
say
like,
I was doing stuff with his daughter.
"Well,
'Cause
that
that's
too."
your wife.
And then he called me. He was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Dude,
You left,
That
dude.
that's like a Titans way to lose a game right there. Like that was.
Or it used to be
Can't
the
imagine.
Panthers' way. It used to be, not this year. I can't disrespect the first place Panthers. Wayne, did you stay up and watch the game? The Packers and Bears? What did you think of that throw, bro, in overtime? I mean,
I thought it was incredible. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it was incredible because I didn't think he was gonna get it. I didn't think it was gonna happen.
it was one-on-one. He called it right from the snap. He saw it, and they talked about
Yeah,
it. I mean,
I
he
didn't
gave
think
a
it was gonna
great
happen.
interview. Gave a great interview about it. Man, I was in Coach's office. We talked about that play. It was just how we drew it up. I saw the coverage line up. I knew I was going there. I trusted my receiver. I mean, what a great interview he gave. He really did. I was so impressed, and just you can't believe what you're watching as it's unfolding. You're like, the ball's in the air for 18 minutes. It's one of those things where you don't know when it's going to come down, and just man, just the city of Chicago being electric like that. It's good for football when a team like that is good because they've been around for so long and they've been bad for so long. It's different with Carolina. They haven't been around as long as the Bears. So it's tough to say that. But I'll give Carolina props because now they're at the point where people are actually expecting them to win a little bit. And now it's hard to win when you're quote unquote supposed to. And now they are. And now they got the target on their back. And we'll see how they do. But what can you say about the Panthers, Wayne?
Oh,
Take your flowers.
here's the problem. I'm still nervous. I'm still
It
nervous
makes it bad.
because Carolina's been in it. They do that. That's what they do. When you write them off, all of a sudden they'll beat anybody playing football. But then when they kind of get in spots, they act like they ain't seen a damn football. And yet here we are because like we could have had the damn division clinched had we beat the Saints. We could have had it
That's
clinched
all
and it
you had
wouldn't
to
even
do.
matter.
Beat the Aints.
You know what I mean? But they've done this
But you ain't
all
do it.
season, so I can't really get excited because now
It's a wait and
we got to
see.
go up against a hot Seattle team, and Tampa's got to go against inept Miami team. Although Tampa seems to be falling apart at the seams. But then we got to play Tampa again.
Right.
And I tend to say we gonna split. I just kind of do a lot of division stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I just don't think
That's fair.
I don't see us. I just don't see us winning twice. Like I don't think we. Well, I didn't think we was gonna beat the Rams either. That was another one of them times I
Well,
thought, but
you helped me out
you know what I
there.
mean. We did.
It is
But I
honestly
don't.
kind of crazy how similar. Have you ever thought about this, Wayne? How similar the Titans and Panthers are as franchises? Like,
Nope. I sure the fuck hadn't because
yeah.
I absolutely not. We might be bad, but we ain't 2 and 3 damn win bad.
No,
Hell
no,
the
no,
fuck
no. Listen,
no, we
not
not.
this year. Not this
We
year.
ain't we ain't
Historically.
that bad. We ain't number one pick in 3.
Historically,
we
though,
don't be that
he's
bad.
absolutely
God
right.
damn.
Now,
No, I
hold
ain't never
on. You
put
got
it.
Bryce Young as a number one pick.
But we
Listen,
traded for
listen.
that pick though.
You
We
go-
traded for that.
You did with the Bears, right? That was
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
Bears
it
trade.
was.
That's how they got DJ Moore. Yeah, we didn't have it because we was Titans bad. We
No,
got it.
no,
We
no, no.
traded
Y'all
for
don't
that
go
pick.
that low, but you get, you go to a Super Bowl not too long after becoming a team. Both of us did that.
Yep.
You have these runs later on, like your Cam Newton run, where you're going to the Super Bowl. We were one game away from the Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill. And usually we'll beat some good teams that nobody expects us to beat, and then we'll get blown out by a shitty team. Y'all just don't have the lows we have. Nobody reaches the lows that we do.
All right, he's got
I'm
a
telling
point,
you,
Wayne.
Bryce.
He got a point.
Bryce and I have the exact same spank bank. I swear we do, because I
Oh,
was
what?
just thinking about this earlier. The spank bank. When
They
it comes to
touching
the hell
sports.
tips,
is a-
Wayne. Wayne, they touching tips.
Yeah, right.
A
When it comes to
spank-
sports,
That's
he and
right.
I
You
are in
said
the
right.
same wavelength. I was just thinking about this earlier yesterday.
Oh, boy.
Another difference though, the Panthers actually have amazing uniforms and a logo. The Titans, I don't even want to fucking wear it.
But in the late 90s, though, it was sick. That was the first time I fell in love with the Titans, was when they played the Rams in the Super Bowl. Who am I cheering for? The team with the better uniforms. It was clearly the Titans for Super Bowl 34.
Yeah, man. The NFC South is just, it gives you a headache for sure. I can't imagine if you're a fan of the team and I mean, my roommate's a Falcons fan, and like his life is weird because they beat someone, give up 0 points, then they score 0 point. I mean, it's like, what is happening with the South? But you're right, Wayne. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out based on y'all's schedule of remaining games. I'm talking you and Tampa Bay, based, with Seattle. Like,
because
I
I
would
don't see
love
us
you to beat
beating
them.
Seattle. Like now, the only way this works out is if, which I don't see happening, us beating Seattle and then they losing to the Miami.
Right.
Then I think we're good.
Yes.
But I just don't see that happening.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's
gonna come
tough.
down to that last game, and then when you need it, I just don't. And here's another thing. I'm so sick. I'm gonna tell you something I don't like about Carolina. Well, there's a couple things I don't like, but the main one is they keep talking about Bryce in these game-winning drives. I'm so sick of these game-winning drives because the problem with our offense, it is Bryce because he don't really give you too much of anything on offense. He don't give you nothing. I mean, besides the 2 games, he's had 2 really good games. Like if we not moving the ball running, I mean, I want to like Bryce. I've been done with Bryce all year. I said week 1, I came out here week 1, and well, not on this platform. Week 1, I'm done with Bryce, and it's funny though because here's what I said: I'm done with Bryce.
He takes it
I'm
personal.
done with him, and the only way he can win me back is if we turn the season around and we win the division. And
Bro, you
but the
did not
reason why
say
we're doing
that.
it is not because of him though. Because
Too
Rico
bad.
turned
Sorry,
into
you said it. Sorry. Look, judge's ruling. Nope, you got to stick with them. I do apologize, Wayne. I do apologize. So nope, that's the way it checks out. No, but we'll see. We'll see how it checks out. Boys, I hate to do this. I have to run because I'm on my way to Indianapolis. I am heading to the game. I'll send you postcards from the 20-yard line. I hope to win this game and win the next 2 and be the number 1 seed. I'll tell you how fat Phillip Rivers looks because I'll be able to see. I'll be able to see up close. I'll be able to pinpoint it. So I'm super excited. Monday Night Foosball. Remember to follow Bryce,
remember that
follow
might be a
Wayne.
flak jacket. That might be a flak jacket. You subtract 4 pounds.
It might be. We'll see. Yeah. Well, we don't have no pass rush, so he don't need to worry about all that. So I'm cool. We just need to score more points. So remember to follow Bryce, follow Wayne, follow us wherever you get your social media. New episodes of Sports Idiot Nation come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which means we will see you Wednesday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
You would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.